What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Uncomplicated Podcast. We're happy to be back, happy to be talking to you. I am Jules, this is
Lily.
And what are we going to talk about today?
We are going to talk about relationship stuff.
Yeah.
More specifically, advice on moving in together.
Why would you want to talk about that?
Because today, you brought the last of your things over here.
I did.
We're moving in together. We're technically moved in. You've been coming over every night for like over a month now, I feel like.
Yeah, pretty much.
So anyway, I asked some people, some friends and family on my side, nobody on your side, unfortunately, but
that's okay.
Some advice on moving in together,
okay.
Like what they have. Some have been together for a few years, some a couple, some forever. So it'll be interesting, and then we can comment on it.
So we're gonna like review we're gonna
read them, and then we can like say our thoughts on them.
Okay.
Potentially, like this is their advice because they've been living together. So, but it's like I feel like everybody has their own ways, also.
Well, yeah, because we're all different.
Yeah. There is something I want to like talk about that I've been wanting to talk about, so it'll be an interesting subject. But yeah, we're gonna start with our highs and lows first.
Of course. Yeah, like I kind of knew you were gonna want to talk about this, but I didn't know. Like you told me this morning.
Yeah.
So it's not like I could prepare.
For what?
For the advice part.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have no idea what they're gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping.
No, yeah. I asked them this morning too.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that I'll have something interesting to add.
You always do.
Sure. Okay. All right.
But there's another question beforehand that I want to talk about that I'm sure you'll have.
What's your highs and lows?
My lows, I wouldn't say I have like new ones. That's good.
It's interesting. It's an interesting turn of events.
The lows are kind of the same one as last time because nothing has really changed.
Mm-hmm. Well, yet.
Yeah. My low last time was confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's less confusion, so it's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Low that I've been thinking about lately is more just like my like health aspect of nutrition side, like I'm always bloated, and I've been thinking I randomly get bloated and I don't know why, and I've been thinking I'm just like what am I eating that's causing this? I feel like it's not necessarily normal. Like we think it's normal because it happens to everybody. It's
not normal.
Exactly. Like so I'm just like I don't want to like why am I one day in the morning feeling great and then in the afternoon like it's just like there's just you ate too much, and then there's just like you ate something that's just So that would be a low.
Making you gassy.
Yeah. That'd be a low. Isn't it a good thing that I'll...
It's very good. Yeah.
You seem disappointed.
I'm not disappointed at all. No, of course not. So just to recap, gassiness and the bloatiness.
I didn't say gassy.
Well,
I just said bloat.
Well, what do you think bloat?
I didn't want to say gassy though.
Yeah, but I'm not saying they come out. I'm just saying they exist in your system.
Yeah, like you feel the bones. Yeah.
What do you think it is? Like, what have you changed in your diet lately?
Honestly, I don't think it hasn't been lately. Like it's been like this for a while. I just think I'm just starting to be annoyed by it.
What's a while?
Years.
Oh, okay.
It's not bad compared to some people.
Yeah.
But it's more like, I'm just starting to be like, okay, well, it's not...
Yeah, you're like eating something that doesn't sit well.
Yeah. Or it's just missing, or I'm missing something. Like, whenever I drink the glutamine in the mornings, like, I've noticed the difference when I don't versus when I do. More in, like, the pain aspect.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, when I eat in the morning, when I drink that and then I eat or drink coffee, like, I don't feel stomach cramps.
Yeah.
Versus if I don't, then I feel it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You want Milo?
Yes.
Milo. Milo was just like something from past life that happened and had to deal with it. That was not fun, and it's moved on. It is what it is.
Moved on?
Yep.
Just like that?
Yep.
No more?
No more.
Interesting.
So, like, there's not much I can do about it. So yeah, so that's one thing. Thing you kind of forget about, and then next thing you know, it pops up, and you're like, ugh, and obviously not something positive. So it was just not fun. It wasn't. It didn't affect my week or anything, but it's just not fun. It was like another like little stress to deal with, and I was just like, ugh, I don't want to. What's your high?
Well, there's that aspect of the, like, not as confused about something. I feel good about it, which is something we'll talk into about in another podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's exciting to like, I know I asked you for advice, but I'm also feel like I'm making this decision on my own as well.
Yeah.
Like I'm not.
Because you asking me for advice, it never comes out with me telling you what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it's just so, and I was like, I still looked for advice from like my brother, but again, I make this decision, like, because even you said something, and I was just like, no, that's not what I want. So it's just kind of like, like making it my, at the end of the day, like whatever happens, it's like it's me that decides. I don't know. And I usually don't do that, so it's a decently big decision for me right now.
Yeah.
And then,
which would potentially impact many aspects of your life. Yeah.
and then Christmas stuff, winter stuff, I should say. It's another high.
New pillow, new blanket.
Blanket, that's Starkey already freaking.
Yeah, it went to HomeSense.
Yes.
Which I don't remember the last time I've been in one.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Oh my God, it's freaking huge in here."
It's massive. There's so much stuff.
It was after we ate some good ribs and steak at Montana's.
Yes.
For me, it was like, I just want to have dinner with you, drink a beer, just chill, just talk. And then you were like, I want ribs. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. I was just like, okay, we can go out.
Yeah. Yeah. I never plan anything. It's always... Yeah.
You're high?
Well, I had a week off. So it's a lot of downtime, which I appreciated. I was like ready to go back and do stuff by like Thursday, I think.
Yeah, you said it was Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
You're like, I could go back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So on the weekend, I kind of worked on a little something, which I'm excited to do in the following week. So that'll be fun. So that was my high. Just relaxing time. Just kind of zone out for a while. Restart, refresh, because going into work this week is going to be a lot different. It's my high.
Alright, so, relationship stuff.
You said you had one question.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what, yeah.
Alright.
So it's not a question. Well, it is a question. But, so, I listened to, what's it called? I think it's the relationship theory. Anyways, it's like Lisa Bilyeu and Tom...
Bilyeu, yeah.
Bilyeu?
Yeah.
His podcast, like when they talk about relationship stuff. And I was listening to one, and at one point they were talking about, he was saying when he was doing an event, or he was very stressed about an event, or like talking in front of like crazy amount of people, whenever his wife was there, Lisa, he said that like she brought like calmness to it. So like he's like, okay, she's here, I can focus. Like it's like it made things better in a way of him just like, he's like, I got this. And then she was saying that was really interesting because for her, it's not the opposite. Like, she'd rather him be there, but him being there brings a little bit extra, like, stress in a way, because she wants to do good for him, like, in front of him and all that, and, like, and then he was actually, said he was pretty upset about that, because he's just like, I want to bring calmness to you, and for her, but she's like, yeah, but it's like, it's not a bad thing, like, and then I was thinking that, and to me, it's kind of the same thing. I've realized that, like, whenever you're around, I'm doing something big, it makes me a little bit more, I don't want to say anxious, but, like, a little bit more on edge, because I'm like, okay, but I don't want to make myself look like a fool in front of you. Like, I want to, like, be extra for you. So I was just curious, like, I wanted to talk to you. Like, how do you, like, what do you think? Because you've told me when you've done a client workshop, you're like, or whenever I'm around, you said, like, you brought, like...
Yeah. I feel the exact same way he feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird, isn't it?
This is very strange. Yeah. No. I don't know. I think it's the way we work differently as men and women. Yeah, I can't really explain it, but it's just like, to me, it's like a reassurance.
Yeah.
It's like, I know that if I mess up, you'll be there to be like it's okay.
Yeah.
So it just kind of, it makes me more confident in what I'm about to deliver.
Yeah.
Knowing that, like, you're there to like, it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
And then for you, it's like the total, well, not total opposite, but like, me being there adds a level of stress to the thing. It's just like, oh, like now I gotta perform.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's I don't know, like, it's, to me, it's because I care what you think. So, I'm not saying you don't care what I think, but, like, in a way, if you're not there, if I make, like, if I, what's the word? If I, like, make a fool of myself, it's like, the one that matters to me the most of how he thinks is not around. So it's like, whatever, like, it's a little bit. But when you're there, it's like, I'm just like, I can't, like, I want to show off. I want to be, like, the best in front of him. I don't know. Like, I would rather you, like, if you're not there, like, I would rather you are there. Like, because there's still that aspect of, like, at least I know somebody is supporting me. Kind of thing. But yeah, so. Yeah, it was interesting because he was upset about it. He said that he felt pretty upset because he wants to bring that calmness. But it's like, but in my head, I'm like, it's not a bad thing. Like,
I kind of feel bad too. Like,
no.
Because you've said that before, where you're like, when I'm like, well, don't worry, I'm gonna be there, and you're like, exactly. And I'm just like, no, it's a good thing. Like, I'm just. Like, I'll be there to support you no matter what happens. And you're just like, well, no, because like you said, you don't want to make a fool of yourself in front of the person you think is most important. Which I think is the difference. I think we both care about that, but we see it more as, and I think it's because we are this way to you. I'm talking we as in me and that other guy that you mentioned, because we seem to be thinking the same about this. It's like we both care for the other, and I think it's like, because we think the way we think about you, we want to be that. Like, because we're like, if I mess up, I know that you'll be there supporting me throughout it, because that's how we would react.
Yeah.
So that's why we think that it should be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it might change in a way of, for me personally, like, the more I do stuff, the more I'll be like, no, you need to be there because of that, like, or maybe it won't. Maybe I'll always be like, I gotta perform better.
Who knows?
But yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah. Isn't it?
It was very interesting.
But
But yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because the few times you were there for big things, I was just like, it was good. It was just like, no matter what happens, everything's gonna be okay. Which I find it interesting, like how you don't necessarily see it that way. It's like if everything goes bad, he's gonna not be proud of me. Like.
Mhm. I don't know though if it would be a not be proud. Like I don't think I wouldn't, because I wouldn't be if I would do bad, I wouldn't be able. I would still go to you to like for that reassurance, like for that like, because I wouldn't be like, oh, he's gonna be so disappointed, blah, blah, blah. Like it's not that. It's more just like, I don't know. It's
like you think you would embarrass.
But like
embarrass me?
Potentially.
Like I represent, like this sounds bad, but it's like I represent him and I failed. So therefore me and him are gonna look bad now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Essentially? I don't know.
Essentially. Like I definitely whenever like it comes back, like I think of like how, and like it sounds bad, but like how I look, how I present myself. If I look like a fool, it's like it goes back, it falls back also on like on you, like but it's still, I don't think it comes really like the big events thing. It's I don't know if it comes from that or not, but
just so we're clear, I do not put these expectations on her. Those do not come from me. No. Basically, we both want each other there, but they're both different reactions and responses to us being there.
Yeah.
Not good or bad, just different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I would learn how to not be stressed about presenting at the event, and then the only thing that stresses me out is the fact it's like I want to do good for him. It wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah.
It would be.
But you'll never be like not stressed about doing something.
No, I know, but like I'm just thinking of the like event, the workshop that I like I was overly like. It was weird. Like I didn't think I would be that bad. Like that stressed about it.
Well, it didn't show.
Didn't? It felt like it showed. I was just, when she said that, I was like, thank God. Because like, I was like, they're one of like a couple that I find very like a strong couple. Like them saying that was just like I'm like, okay, I'm not like weird.
Yeah, it's so different. It's so weird because I think we both come from a place of like I want to make them proud.
Yeah.
So we're like I'm gonna do amazing and it's gonna be great, and because they're there I feel better.
Yeah.
And then you're the opposite, which is like, what if I fuck up?
Well, that's the thing. For us it's like the negative. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I wanted to ask. Wanted to like point out a difference between, because I had a feeling you're like that. You were the same thing.
Well, I told you.
Well, when you said
the first few times when I did my very first client workshop and my very first study group, you were there both times, and I told you afterwards exactly that. Yeah. Because you were there, you were like a calming presence where I could just like be like, okay, everything's good, just do it, just deliver. Yeah.
I'm happy I can do that.
Of course.
So, if you guys are different, or if somebody has something
that'd
else,
be super interesting.
Let us know, because it's very fascinating.
Because now the only two examples we have is both guys feel the same, both women feel the same. So now I'm like wondering if it's gonna keep that trend. Yeah. Yeah. And if so, that would make it even more interesting. Because then it's like, okay, what is happening? Yeah. Like, why is it total opposite?
Yeah. What's also interesting is that he is insanely good at that's what his job is. It's presenting, it's events, and so it's like for her like she did it after him. Like, she that like from what I know about their story, like that was him, that was his job, and then she she wanted to do it. So it's like, and to me it's the same thing, like in a way of like you started these things and I'm just like, well, and you're great at them, and I'm just like I'm like, oh, like I'm trying these things,
which is so funny because I don't think I'm that great at them. I just do them.
I know.
It's just
I know. Okay.
So I'm sure, and again I don't know, but I'm sure he feels the same way. He's just like I don't think I'm amazing at them. I just do it, and I've been doing it, and I just keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. We're moving on. It's good.
But that makes sense, though, your point, though. That he was there, she would already look up to him, and then she started, and then she was like, okay, like now I gotta live up to the hype there, because...
Yeah, would it be opposite for, like, if she started with presenting a lot, and then he started growing? But even then, I feel
maybe, I don't know.
I don't know, though, because I feel like... I honestly think it's the way... the differences between how we think.
Men and women?
Yeah.
Maybe. That's why it would be interesting.
People tell us what you think. How you would react.
Okay, let's move on.
We can keep talking about it.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. Just,
you sure?
Yeah. I don't know where I was going with this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The things about like advice and all that?
Mm-hmm.
So do you have a piece of advice?
Advice for moving in. Or
living together.
Living together. All I have to say is you both come from different backgrounds, different experiences, different like ways of doing things and ways of living. So there is a possibility that it's going to clash at first.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it is. It doesn't have to, but there's a possibility. And it's just because two people from very different backgrounds come together to try and make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Communicate through those things, be willing to accept some of those things, and be willing to understand where they come from.
Yeah.
That's mainly my advice. It's like, example, super small example, but
okay.
I put stuff in the oven right on the rack, and at first you were like, what the fuck are you doing?
No, he doesn't put it, he puts the food on the rack. Like,
yes.
He doesn't put it in something and then put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I want to grill a wrap, or if I want to do like homemade pizzas, or I just put it on the rack.
Yeah.
I don't put it in a little container.
No.
And then at first you were like, what are you doing? And I had to be like, just trust me. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a long time. But what was good is you didn't like push back.
Yeah.
You were just like, okay, let's see. And then it turned out you were like, huh, okay,
yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you could have easily just been like, no, this is stupid, you need to...
Yeah.
And that would have, like, clashed. Because I would have been like, yo...
It's not that big, yeah.
Like, I've been doing this for, like, freaking the last 10, 15 years of my life.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. So that's a small example for us. Instead of you, like, continuously fighting back and be like, no.
Mm-hmm.
You were just like, all right, let's see. So you kind of let it happen, accepted it, saw the result, was like, huh, okay. Yeah. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a small example.
It's a good one.
I know.
How is that the one that like stuck?
Because your reaction was priceless.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just like, okay. Because to me it was just normal. It was just like, okay,
Yeah.
you do this, do that, and
Yeah.
you were just like, what are you doing?
Well, I'm just in my head. I'm like, okay, you're gonna make a mess, and then you're gonna burn yourself, and then like,
Oh.
I ain't doing that.
Well, and that's another thing. I wouldn't ask you to do that.
No, yeah.
So that's another thing. Like, I can't be like, your way is stupid. You gotta start doing it my way.
Yeah.
No, it's like we have different ways of doing this. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, now I'm at the point where when I use the thing, because I'm not going to do it, because I'm just too scared because burning myself, and I'm just putting it, and I'm just like, I wish he was here so he could do his thing.
Yeah. Accept that you've lived different lives, you've experienced different things, therefore you have different opinions and different ways of doing things, and you're all trying to bring that in together. Well, what was your original advice before hearing all of ours? Because I'm sure now it's kind of like changed a little bit.
Yeah, well, I didn't read too much into details because I wanted to like save it.
Yeah, what if you have your friend that's like
Yeah.
you that sent you a message earlier today that was like, yo, what's your advice for people moving in? Did you tell them it was for this, or did you just...
Yeah, no,
okay.
I asked them. It was for, we're making a podcast.
I would have just been like, legit, like...
No, fun, like, people, like, went at it. Like, they, like, it wasn't just two words. My dad's the only one that wrote 2 words. Everybody else, like, was very, like, I was like, they got into it. I was like, all right, cool. Like,
What was 2 words? Cook food?
No. I think I would go with something more like 2 different humans.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you work different ways, and it's just like, it's more just know that. Just know and understand, like, you're not gonna work the same. Like, even example, like, and it's not the best example, but we brought in all your stuff, and you're like, well, let's put it away and then do this, and I'm just like, I can't do that. We gotta do this and then do that, like, and it's just like, and it's not, people sometimes will be like, well, we don't think the same, we don't act the same, it's like a bad thing. It's like, no, it's just, it's like you can work together with it. Like, it's not, you can't be the same. If you are, like, it's, I don't know. You'll clash in some other ways. Like,
well, yeah. And you also have to, like, pick your battles. Like, sometimes it's like, you gotta just look at it and be like, okay, is this worth it?
oh yeah.
Is this worth an argument? Is this worth pissing off the person? Because I assume when you move in with them, it's because you love them.
Mm-hmm.
So is this worth pissing off the person that I love over this small, ridicule little thing?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's kind of my bit. It's just like to keep remembering, to keep just knowing and understanding. It's like you will both work differently. Like, and you're 2 different persons. You think different ways. Like, it's just keep remembering that when things like seem to not work. It's like, okay, well, why? Like, there's something. Like, remember, you're 2 different persons.
Yeah. And like, actively try to figure out why they do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just take it at face value. Just like,
you're really good at that.
just be like, cool, okay, they do this thing, I don't quite understand it, like, this would be way easier, let me just, like, ask them, like, why do you do it this way?
Yeah.
And then they'll give you a reason, and you'll just be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, instead of just being like, I don't know, example, why are they being stupid? It's like, no, they're not being stupid, that's the way they do it because this way.
Yeah. First piece of advice. They're long. Like, people went, like, at it. So this is for my friend. And she also said what her husband said in it. Like, said about it, too.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have a lot of, like, female-male perspectives. So for her it was, my advice is something I saw on TikTok of this old couple who said that the key to a happy marriage is recognizing that each individual brings something to the relationship. So when you're living together, don't ever think everything has to be super equal. If you're really good at organizing and cleaning and your partner's really good at taking care of the bills and managing the budget for you both, then stick with that flow and don't expect each other to be good at everything. Do what you're good at, let the other person do what they're good at, and don't ever try to say one is more than the other. Every bit equals 50-50. And then her husband says his advice is never let an argument about anything go for more than 5 minutes. If you can't sort it out in 5 minutes or less, you need walk away for 20 minutes and come back to things with a calm and clear mind.
Yeah, I think that's a rule, like a 5-minute rule. It's like if it's not gonna matter 5 years from now, like it's something like that. Yeah. I forget exactly what it is,
Don't
but
waste your 5 minutes more.
Yeah. But no, that's very good. I agree 100%. 'Cause that's happened where it's like, it's like, well, you only do this, I do all of this, and it's just like, why are we valuing things? Like, why don't we just appreciate that, like, you do certain things, I do certain things, and it's just like, that's the way it works, and we work well this way, but as soon as you put, like, a value on what you do, it's just like, and then you expect the other to do more just based on, well, like I did 3 loads of laundry and you only cleaned the toilet.
Yeah.
Example.
Yeah.
Like, why is one valued more than the other? Yeah.
Well, we talk a lot about like getting people to work on their like strengths, like.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like that's what she's also saying. It's like do what you're good at.
I mean, like, if you're both bad at one thing, then that's where you compromise. That's where you're like, all right, I'll do half of it, you do the other half.
Yeah.
Because we both not good at this and hate it.
Yeah.
So let's just come together, do it together, and then done.
The advice about the arguments about anything more than 5, like, I feel like I won't be good at that.
I mean, why? Why do you think you're not going to be good at that?
It depends on if we can resolve it.
But you don't always look to resolve it.
Yeah. That's why it lasts more than 5 minutes. Yeah, but I think the argument is more like I've never let an argument or arguments between us, which hasn't really happened. I don't think so.
No, they happen.
Yeah.
They happen, but then we understand them and kind of like, oh, okay, so sorry. Like, because most of the time, whatever I do is not to purposely make you upset.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you get upset with what I do, and I'm just like, okay, like, what did I miss here? And then you tell me, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, I won't do it this way next time then.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. Next one. This is what he says. The biggest piece of advice is communication. Always keep the lines of communication open. Encourage your partner to share what's bugging them. Don't hold anything in. Try not to assume you are going to hurt the other person's feeling. It's always better to speak your mind rather than keeping it so. It can fester and become something so much worse. Be patient and understanding when your partner does share something. Be thankful that they are willing to share that with you and talk through what you both need to do to work through it. If you have expectation, make sure they are very clear. If you keep that silent, you are setting your partner for failure. We all have little quirks and certain things that bug us more than others. We should make an effort to accommodate that because most times it's a small thing. And on the flip side, when you see your partner making an effort to accommodate you, recognize it and be thankful and appreciative. Saying thank you is very important. But yeah, communication.
I mean, yeah, that's the key. Again, going back to that little thing. If if I had asked you and you would have been like, nothing. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. It was nothing. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. Then I wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd get upset again. But I think it helps also that I wasn't like, oh, that's ridiculous. Like, what the hell? Why would you get upset over that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, honestly, sometimes that's why I don't say things right away. Because I'm like, it's stupid. It sounds stupid. Or, like, you'll think and it's just...
Yeah, but whether it's stupid or not stupid, you're still feeling the way you're feeling. And my goal is to make you stop feeling the way you're feeling as quick as possible. So, like, I don't care if it's stupid. It's still affecting the way you feel.
Yeah, but it's the fact that I have to learn and remember that, like, you won't be like, oh, that's ridiculous, you know, like, make me feel like that.
I mean, it depends what. Feelings are valid. Like, whether I think it's stupid or not, you're still feeling those feelings. You're still feeling shitty. You're still feeling... So it's like, if I really care for you, I'll try to understand why you're feeling this way, even though I think it's stupid. Yeah. And that's happened before.
With what?
When you're so hard on yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I always think, like he's so irrelevant, but, like, I can't say that. Yeah. So I'm just like, okay, like, how can I help this situation?
You just hug her. I like when he said, when they're trying to accommodate you, like, recognize it and be thankful and appreciate it. And then saying the thank you is very important. I wouldn't, like, necessarily say thank you, but just making sure they remember that, like, you value what they do. Like, even if you don't say thank you right there and then, it's like, somehow, like, making sure they know that.
Well, it's like those reels or TikTok videos of like, wives complaining about their husbands when they, let's say, like, clean the bathroom, and it's like, didn't even clean the mirror. And it's just like, it's like, well, when does he clean the bathroom though? Yeah. Like, if he never does it, and then he does it, and he does it wrong, you should still be, like, thankful that they took part of their day to do it for you, because they didn't do it for themselves. I guarantee they did it to make you happy, and then you come back and you're just like, well, you didn't even do it right. It's like, you think he's gonna want to do it again? No. It's like, or it's like another one where it's like, same type of thing, where it's like, he wants to be congratulated for doing the laundry, but, like, these are all the things I do around the house. And it's just like, yeah, 100%, he should be thankful for the other person to do all of those other things too, but you should also be thankful for this person to do this thing also. It's like, it goes both ways.
It's funny when I see those, because whenever I do something that you would probably be the one doing, because it's men. Do some of those, and I'm just like, I'm usually if I do it, I'll be like, I did it. Like, did you see that? And I don't expect, but I'm just like, and it's the same thing for, like, I feel like the guy is doing, like, cleaning the bathroom. It's like, you're looking for that, just, but, like, in your head you could just be like, well, you should be doing this. This hasn't happened, but, like, I'm just thinking of changing tires, you know? Yeah. It's like, in your head, you could be like, oh, but it's your car. You should be changing your tires, so why would I be, like, proud of you for changing your own tires, you know? Yeah. I feel like it can go, but we always, like, it seems to be very against, but, which I understand, because some stuff, it's, like you said, some people aren't thankful. So make sure to remember to be thankful.
Yeah, for like anything. It's so easy to forget the good things and only focus on the bad things. But when you recognize the good things, like all the time, by saying thank you, it's like you're creating these like little memories of when you say thank you for something that the other person did.
So for the girl version of this couple, she sent me a voice memo, so I'll try to say kind of what she was saying. But for her was communication is really big, and like respecting the other's boundaries, like communicating your boundaries. So.
Which I kind of failed at last time. Funny story.
What do you mean?
When you were like, I don't want to go in and pay. I don't wanna. And I was like, just.
Oh, I'm like, can I say it?
Of course.
Oh my god. Okay, this is amazing. So, after his hockey game, we went to get gas, and it's at this gas station that I hate and I think is sketchy. And I was telling him, I'll pay, but like I ain't going in. He's like, why? And I'm like, it's because. So, and then it wasn't working on the machine, so I had to go in. Well, we had to go in, and I'm like, you can go. And he's like, no, just go. It's okay. Like, you got this. And I'm like, I'm not going. And anyways, I had to go in. and then it's at nighttime, by the way.
And well, it's what, like, it's probably like 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like crazy late, and he was right there, so it's fine. But it's not like he was outside. He wasn't in the car waiting. He was there. So I go in, and I'm just like, gonna go pay, and I'm like, can I pay for $40 at this pump? And the guy was like, yeah. I'm like, okay, thanks.
And he's like, your card didn't work.
Yeah, he asked me. He's like, yeah. He looked at the receipt. He's like, your card didn't work, and I'm like, I know. Can I pay, please? And then I'm about to pay, and he's like, what's your name? I'm like, oh no. I say, I'm like, Lily, and then he's like, oh, okay. He's like, you're cute, and I'm like, oh. This is exactly why I didn't want to come in. So I'm like, thanks. And then I was like, come on, let's go pay. I'm like, can I have the receipt? He's like, no. I'm like, oh. He's like, I'm just joking. Like, the receipt. Oh, man. So now I like walk outside, and I'm like, I cannot wait to tell him.
Yeah, you walk outside with the biggest smile, and I'm just looking at you like, what the hell happened in there?
So anyways, I go in the car. I'm like, I'll tell you after. And then I tell him the story, and he's like, you're like, no way.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. At the time, I was like
no.
Because usually I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll go.
Yeah. And then this time you're like, no, you got this.
Yeah, I was just like, no, like, at some point, like...
Be a grown-up.
Yeah, like, kind of.
But yeah, so it was...
And then this happened, I was like, oh my god, no way.
Yeah, so, and I think it's just more, like, youth, because of, like, how I act with other stuff, you just thought I was just, like, you just don't, because you don't feel confident of, like, talking or whatever. But it's, like, to me, it was just, like, no, it's sketchy, it's like, I don't want to go in, I want to stay here.
You're a woman.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And it's, like, honestly, if I was alone and you wouldn't have been there, I would have been more, like, on edge. Yeah. Like, I would have been like, shh, like, oh, man, like, I wouldn't even be, like, looking over my shoulder the whole time putting gas in. But knowing that you were there, I was just like, I'm like, this is freaking hilarious. Like, so, but yeah, and it's like, I don't know if I would call it a boundary.
Well, kind of.
Yeah, it's just something that, like, I really don't want to do. Like, going into, like, the fast food places and, like, for example, the burrito place, it's that's just me needing to, like, build the confidence, like, whatever. But for the gas station part, it's more of a yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to that gas station. I'm like, I am not getting out of this car.
But, and it's so different, and sometimes I forget that we live different lives.
What we
Like,
think about, like
Yeah, because for me, if an old lady at a gas station or an older man at a gas station would hit on me, ask
Yeah.
for my name, and tell me I'm cute, I would just be like, man, I was a weirdo. Like, and then I'm just like, go on with my day. But it's very different. It brings out very different feelings for
yeah.
women in general, I think.
Yeah, and it's not like anything's happened to me, but I think it's just something that we're told as little girls. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
like, and then you hear the stories, and it's just, like, I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel
No.
it. Like, he wasn't, like, he was just said what he had to say.
You just felt like a tiny bit like, ugh.
Probably not a lot of women go into the gas
Yeah.
station. What she was saying, I think, understanding that there was going to be an adjustment period, that you're moving into with somebody else that has different like habits, and we kind of talked about that I think today. It's going to take time to live together, like in a
Yeah.
there's a word for it, but like in a like have your both your new habits that work together versus the different habits. Yeah, like learn how to be in each other's spaces. That she mentioned that, and being understanding and open about like you mentioned like why somebody might feel like this or why I'm doing something this way.
Yeah, but again, like you can be the person trying to understand and trying to ask those questions to prompt answers but if the other person's not open to giving answers, then you're back to square one.
Yeah.
So it's like it's gotta come both ways. Like if you see that your partner's trying to actually like get to understand certain things, like you shutting down is not gonna help the situation. So if you see that they're making an effort, just then like just keep that in mind, and then you make a smaller effort also to kind of just give them a little piece of the puzzle or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, it goes both ways. And I've heard people being like so annoying. He asks so many questions, and then it's like, well, he's actively trying to understand you.
Yeah.
And you're shutting him down or shutting her down. It's like.
It's like a lot of like they should already know. I get that so much.
Yeah.
They should know that that's how it works. It's just like, have you listened to like how men's brain work? They don't just know.
No, we don't just know.
You say one thing and then we're like, no, that's not what they actually want. They want this. Kind of thing.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, we say something was like, yeah, but they really mean that and this whole story, and you're like. No, I legit just wanted to say the sky is blue. Like, I didn't say anything about the clouds. But again, as a person, if you know that that's how they think, then you can double down on like being extra specific on what you say.
Yeah.
To try and help, like. Always ways. Because at the end of the day, like, both sides got to make an effort. It's not just.
No, yeah.
It's not just one way.
Ooh, there's no more batteries.
We'll be back with part 2 of relationship advice, moving in together advice. Join us in the next episode of
Uncomplicated Podcasts.
part 2. Let's go.